What's most exciting point in my career is probably the first time I became a chief executive of a brand. But I was the first woman to be part of that, and I think that's super important because I'm passionate about getting more women into engineering, more women into the automotive business. And I'm not trying to be pretentious or arrogant, but to have a role model, and there's somebody who's a woman who's a brand CEO, I think is super important to show that there are no glass ceilings and you can achieve. I came up via finance and became a finance director, which is a great position to be in because you actually see the whole of the business. And whilst I'm not an engineer, I know how a car works. I even perhaps asked probably stupid questions because I want to learn. Well, you see, I've been in this industry over 40 years, and I can remember that my first car didn't have electric windows, it didn't have air conditioning, it didn't even have a radio. But then in the past 5 years, what have I seen? Probably more than I've seen in the previous 35 years, is the introduction of electrification, the drive to reduce emissions. I've just retired, and I wish I was still in the business because I think what's going to happen in the next 5-10 years is going to be far more than happened in the previous 30. The batteries that we're now using are much more sophisticated than the batteries we were using 5 years ago. The chemistry within those batteries is changing to be more efficient. But then there's lots of research, whether it be for e-fuels, alternatives, e-fuels, hydrogen fuel cells, all of these things. And I think that's where we're going to start to see that electric vehicles isn't necessarily the only solution. There are others. French never arrive on time. We always arrive. I say that because I've now got also French nationality, so I can play both. You always arrive around about 5 minutes late, yeah? And so I was there at 10 o'clock and there's nobody there, I think this is ridiculous. So of course you have the 5 minute, everybody arrives, with a cup of coffee in their hand and what have you. And then of course, very British, let's do agenda item number 1. Well, the French love creativity. So we started on 1, but then we went to agenda item number 4, then we went to, it was a mess. So what did I learn? Well, 2 things. One is cultures are different, but they're complementary. And you can't impose your culture on somebody else. I think if you said to somebody, why don't you go into the automotive business? They think they're going into a workshop, which is super dirty, but now it's all managed by diagnostic equipment, software, etc. And there are so many elements of the automotive business that should be encouraging women to go into that, that maybe we need to be more vocal and communicate. And I think we've not been terribly good at that either. It's not a dirty, mechanical profession anymore. It's super sophisticated. There are more code lines on a car than there are on a plane. I was visiting Vietnam on business, and I was invited to do a sort of keynote speech. And this guy came up to me and he said, I went to Warwick, and I didn't know him. We had never met before, and that's what's absolutely amazing. And even when I've been in Paris, I can go and meet people and they will say, actually, I went to Warwick. And it's amazing that you meet people in the most strange places and suddenly you've got that contact. Everybody's super proud to have gone to Warwick, and it's got a great reputation. I always get asked, what would you tell your younger self? You enjoyed it, Linda? Yes. Would you change anything that you've done? No. Did you work hard? Oh, yes.